Toronto's leading 55-39, trying to close out Orlando. About 10 minutes away from the tip in Philadelphia. Nets and Sixers called by Spiro Ditas, Greg Anthony, and Roz Gold on Wood A, while
congratulations,
Atlanta Studio J.
Gotta congratulate Greg. His son is now a Tar Heel.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, he's going to North Carolina?
Cole Anthony, yes.
Yes, he did.
Awesome. Yes. It's
Congratulations,
TNT,
Greg and Cole.
TNT NBA tip-off.
His mom.
Already.
Auto Trader sponsors it.
Already a better player than his dad already.
Oh, we knew that.
I'm Ernie, that's Shaq, that's Kenny, and that is Charles.
Delicious. Charles, you're looking quite delicious
Thank
today,
you, man.
my brother.
She put the makeup on today. I knew I was going to make America go crazy today.
Got you.
Delicious.
Got your eyebrows on fleek.
You know, last night at this point, we took you back to 1993 for a Charles game winner, which was exactly 26 years ago yesterday. And tonight, strangely enough, it was the next day in 1993 that Shaq did this.
Oh, I remember that.
Oh!
That could have really hurt you.
Shot clock hit you, didn't it?
Yeah, it kind of hit me in the head. I had to play it off.
Well, is the shot clock all right with your big old head?
Yeah.
Think if that basket would have fallen differently, man.
Ernie, that was a time in my career where that was my second year. So after my first year of watching how real superstars conducted themselves, Charles, Malone, Akeem, Mike, I kind of figured out, I said, okay, I want that. This is my niche. So every time I dunk, I tried to rip it down. And I was home at the crib, bought 100 tickets. Grandma, Grandpa was there, so I just tried to represent.
Yeah,
It seemed like that was powerful, but not as powerful as the other ones. I'm surprised that was the one that did that. Because I've seen you have some more vicious dunks that did not.
Yeah, but that was just sheer
Next
power.
night, because I saw you hit the game winner, I was like, oh no.
We need to start the boat.
Already?
Already?
Today?
Just to let people know that there's a possibility.
Tony, hey, listen.
I'm going in the water tonight, America.
I guarantee we're going to have two teams going on
in the water.
We got the Nets and Sixers on TNT, got the Thunder and Blazers on TNT, Spurs and Nuggets are on NBA TV, and right now Toronto and Orlando are on NBA
You can't
TV.
start the boat.
No, I'm just saying. It's just to set the stage.
You can have the boat ready.
You got Magic, the Nets, and Oklahoma City could all go fishing tonight. Who goes and who stays?
Say those names again. I was just looking at the craftsmanship.
Orlando, Brooklyn, and OKC facing elimination.
I'm going to go with Orlando. Yes, Brooklyn.
Orlando and Brooklyn going home, Shaq.
OKC going to win tonight.
Okay.
I would say the only one that I would say that is a sure bet of going home, I would say would be Orlando.
Orlando, from what we've seen so far.
Orlando, Brooklyn, and OKC.
A trifecta?
Trifecta, brother.
Guaranteed then.
Guaranteed.
As you can tell, what we like to do on this show quite a bit is predict things. Some of them come true, some do not. The other day, we spent some time at the wall where we have posted predictions all season long, and we weeded through some of them to see the hits and the misses from the Chuckster.
There's a lot more hits than misses.
Yeah, there were. But there was something I didn't write down from opening night, which I wish I had written down.
What's that?
But we do have evidence of it. Roll it.
There's 3 elite teams in the Eastern Conference, but they all got question marks. Like Boston.
Who are the 3?
Boston, Philly, and Toronto.
You don't put Milwaukee in there?
Not with those top 3 teams. Second, the Sixers. It's all about Markelle Fultz, in my opinion. Ben's going to be great. Joel's going to be great. Sarge, Covington. I like Wilson Chandler. But if they don't get play out of Markelle Fultz, they're not going to win.
A swing and
I agree with that.
Wait,
no, that's not a swing and a miss.
There was.
Oh, you don't think?
You said Milwaukee's not a top 3 team.
No, that was a miss.
That
was a miss.
And that Markelle Fultz was a key to the Sixers.
Yeah, I do believe
yeah.
That's why they went out and got Jimmy Butler.
That's why they went out and got all those guys.
Because they needed somebody to do
But you said he was a key.
Yeah, and they figured out he couldn't play. And that's when they went out and got Butler and Tobias.
I agree with you.
No, if he can't play, he ain't the key.
Yeah.
No, but listen.
No, they figured it out, Shaq. They traded him.
Now,
Chuck, just so
you're trying to weasel your way out of that.
You said he
I
was
don't know,
the key.
man. I agree with Chuck.
No,
You said he was the key and he can't
said
play.
he had to play well for the Sixers to play well.
But he didn't. They went out and got
and they
Butler.
still played well.
Yeah,
So he wasn't the key.
He's not.
I agree with you, Chuck.
Thank you, Ernie.
Kenny, stop it, Kenny. He's not the key.
I'll explain why I agree.
He's not the key. That's why he got traded.
No,
Stop
listen.
it.
He was basically saying, look, they're going to need a third scorer, and it's Markelle Fultz. He's the key.
And he's not
if
the
he
guy.
doesn't play well, they're not going to win.
So
he was never playing well. So they wasn't playing well. So then they went out and got the third scorer.
Good job, Counsel Kenny.
I agree with that, Chuck. I do agree. Now, you were wrong on Milwaukee.
I was wrong on Milwaukee.
But I do agree with the other one.
Hey, can I give a shout out before we before we go to break? Because I got to thank Jay Sterling for the bow. Okay, Jay Sterling for the kente cloth bow tie.
Kente?
Yeah.
It's a kente cloth.
Yeah.
It's a shame Ernie knows what a kente is.
I've worn them. I've worn them before.
There's a different kente I know.
I've worn them.
It didn't work out good for him.
He says, hey, I've seen you with these. I'm going to send them to you, too.
Ernie,
make me nervous, boy. Ernie.
Thank you, Jay Sterling. We appreciate that.
Hey, Ernie, way to represent other than the month of February. Give you some on that, Ernie.
Hey.
Don't hate me
Real close, Ernie. You get real close.
Hey, you very close, Ernie.
I appreciate you, Ernie.
Powell walks a tightrope baseline. Here's Gordon from deep. Got it. Look at the footwork. Leonard. Augustine inside. 48. That's good. Leonard again.
This guy is something else.
In franchise history, the Raptors are 5-6 in closeout games. Their first shot at wrapping things up with the Magic comes tonight in Toronto, and that's where we find Steve Smith, who'll be on the call tonight here on NBA TV with Kevin Ray, Mike Fratello, and Jared Greenberg. Smitty, good to see you. Since that Game 1 Orlando win, the Raptors have been dominant, particularly their defense, with the additions of Kawhi Leonard, Marc Gasol, a couple of Defensive Players of the Year, Danny Green as well, all since last summer. How well suited is this defense for a deep playoff run?
Well, Matt, you said it best. You saw the accolades from some of these veteran guys, and then you throw in a Pascal Siakam. He's long, he's active, he's a guy that can get out and run and create havoc defensively, but I think it's also their schemes. Nick Nurse talked about whenever Vucevic has the basketball, they play him straight up with Marc Gasol. They dig a little bit with Serge, but anybody else, they're coming on a hard double. Interesting, Terrence Ross, they top-siding him, he said, on all down screens, all dribble handoffs, they're going to double him. And pick and rolls with the basketball with Terrence Ross, they're doubling. They think he's the key to giving them energy and knocking down three-point shots.
Smitty is Jet. Hey, can Orlando do anything similar to what they did in Game 1 to try to extend this series and get this thing back to Orlando?
Jet, great question. And Steve Clifford talked about turnovers. He said, we can't turn the basketball over. They're so good defensively. We must get shots. And he said he thought rebounding, especially in Orlando, they gave up so many second chance points, especially in Game 4 on the offensive glass for the Toronto Raptors. So he said if they could rebound, not turn it over, and obviously they want to hit some shots, but they also want to keep the pace down. They want the games to be close into like 100, 105, no more than 105. He feels they have a chance if they can do that, Jet.
Smitty, what does this team need out of Kyle Lowry? We've seen who Kawhi is. We've seen Pascal. But who does Kyle Lowry have to be for the Toronto Raptors to have success?
You know, Ryan, I think for this series, I think you can play this way. But I think going further on, they need all-star Kyle Lowry. They need a guy that can come out and put his imprint all over this game. And we know he's going to give that effort defensively. I'm not worried about that. He's sharing the ball well. But, Ryan, you said it best. What do they need from Kyle Lowry to ultimately get to the Eastern Conference Final and get to the championship? I think they need all-star Kyle Lowry's offense, and I think they need him to be confident on that side of the ball on the offensive end.
A moment ago, you mentioned what Toronto was doing defensively to Nikola Vucevic. The Magic All-Star has averaged just 12 points and shot under 35% so far. Is it a matter of Toronto just making the decision they're going to take him away and Orlando's going to have to adjust, or is there something Vucevic can do to produce a little more and help the Magic survive tonight?
Matt, Steve Clifford talked about that they don't really run plays for Vucevic. They like him to just duck in to play basketball. But they said now they want him to go quick. They're going to try to move him pick and rolls, maybe have him come up higher against Marc Gasol on the post and have him faced up a little bit more. But they just want Vooch to be Vooch. If he's going to have double teams, collect the double teams, kick out. He's making the right passes. He said they need to make shots, the wing guys, for him to loosen up the defense, for him to get loose down on the block.
Smitty, if you're Orlando, What's more important for them? Is it Terrence Ross getting off to a good start, or them getting out in transition where they were so effective this season? What do they need to do to have success?
You know what, Ryan, we haven't talked about Aaron Gordon. Aaron Gordon is a guy, they're not double teaming. So I think Aaron Gordon, he has played solid. He's played his averages in the regular season, but this is where in the playoffs, as you know, Ryan, and Jet knows this, they need him to have one of those games. He need a 24, 25-point game, rebounds, knocking down three. He has shot the three better on the road, around 71% versus at home. I think they need Aaron Gordon to have a big game for them to win this one.
And Aaron Gordon was big in Game 4, but it wasn't enough. We'll see if they can turn the tide tonight in Toronto. Smitty, we'll see you at the top of the hour right here for the broadcast.
Appreciate you guys.
All right, time for winning ingredients presented by Papa John's. Toronto has found the formula for shutting down the Magic offense, holding them to 91 a game on 39% shooting. And guys, since Game 1, Orlando has shot just 26% from three-point range. Here's Toronto head coach Nick Nurse.
Nick, Mike Grange from Sportsnet. Any particular points of emphasis based on, I mean, as well as you guys played defensively, is there anything that jumps out you're still trying to tidy up? I think they had like 13 open threes or something like that. They missed a bunch of them. But.
Well, I think the main emphasis tonight is to try to do it over the course of the 48 minutes. I think, you know, from watching all the other series, or teams have 3 wins already. You know, the Celtics took maybe the lead for the first time with about 4 minutes to go. Detroit was up 12 last night. Utah didn't go away, on and on. So I think, I mean, there's nothing specific, Michael. I just think that, again, we need to do some of the things we've been doing really well, which is get our defense set up. Transition defense has been great. I think that'll be an early indicator of if we're engaged in wanting to play the same type of defense we've been playing. I think we've been excellent at keeping the ball more under control. But when it isn't under control, we've been excellent at helping each other. So nothing outside of pretty basic stuff, you know, with effort. And that, again, understanding that it needs to be done over the full 48 minutes.
Anyone else? Doug.
Yeah, Nick, Doug Smith, the Toronto Star. You've been able to turn them over at a much higher rate than they're used to giving it up. Is that just your length and quickness, or to what do you attribute that?
Well, yeah, we've done a really good job, Doug, of getting our hands on a lot of passes. Just deflections has been way up. But I just think that most of that starts with really good ball pressure. I think we're speeding them up a little bit in the half court, a little bit more than they're used to. And, you know, when you're sped up, it gets a little harder to make plays or see the next play. And again, I think we're covering up maybe what looks really, you know, like the first option looks good, and we cover that one up, and now you're going to option 2 or 3, and then you're maybe a little bit, your decision making's not quite as good. But yeah, our length and stuff has a lot to do with it too.
John.
Nick, John Dedden, OrlandoMagic.com. Players hate comparisons, but Siakam, Isaac, kind of similar body types, play the same position. Did you see signs that this was coming from Pascal? Last year in the playoffs, he played 10 games.
Well, we thought he was going to be much improved this year, coming out of the season and the summer that he had, and just the way he looked every time we went to see him this summer, and then training camp, et cetera, just looked like he was going to have. But I'm not sure anybody saw this coming, right? I mean, this is if anybody said the guy was going to do what he's doing in the playoffs a year ago from now, they were really being optimistic, all right? So he's been really good. You know, he got off to a fast start. I think I was kind of waiting to see if he would maintain a level of consistency and be able to do that, because I think that's still the sign of, are you here for real, is can you do it night in and night out? And then there's all these little kind of benchmarks along the way. How's he gonna play after the All-Star break? How's he gonna play the full 82? And then you get to this part what's he going to do in the playoffs?
Apparently, he's going to continue to thrive. Speaking of Pascal Siakam, on the way here in Game Time, an earth-shaking anniversary for Shaq.